Good afternoon, Dr. Kimmons. I'm going to be talking about today our learning instructional strategies chart that we were working on for this week. And there we worked on two different strategies. In the beginning, we learned about the teacher-centered and the student-centered. The teacher-centered, it's where the teacher is the one with the primary source, the one giving the instruction, the one talking, the one doing everything in the lesson, in the class. And I compare this one to when I was in school many years ago in elementary school, and that's how they taught me. There was no other thing, no other way of teaching. And then the student-centered is the one basically that we're using today, and the one that I've been learning about in my first year of teaching is that students are involved. Students have a voice. Students have an opinion. Students participate more. Students talk to their friends. They collaborate with their friends. So it's totally different. And I think that students learn more this way. Now, let me talk about the different learning theories that I have learned and how I associate them now with what I've been doing that I did not know that there was a name to them. For example, behaviorism from Skinner. Behaviorism, he believes that learning occurs when you give rewards and punishments. In this case, I associate it with PBIS rewards, that we use PBIS in my school. And every time you see a student doing what they're supposed to be doing, you give them a ticket. And then they redeem those tickets for rewards and stuff. But the point is that you are able to reinforce that positive behavior on what they're doing. It could be them in the hallway going to the bathroom. It could be them at lunch. It could be at recess if they did a good deed. Then we have the cognitism from Piaget. Piaget says that it's how the mind works when they're in the learning process. And this one relates to me when you are asking questions to activate prior knowledge. So when you do that, it increases the retention of the new lesson that you're doing at that point. Now, the other one is constructivism with Vygotsky. And what he says is that you construct knowledge when you work together. And this one I relate to Think, Pair, Share. And Think, Pair, Share, my partner and I, we pair our students, just like they said, the high one on grade level with the one below grade level, and that way they can help each other. And it's a great pair. We do revise this several times in a year. We start after we give out the iReady test, and that's where we get the scores in the beginning of the year since we don't know the students. And then we revise it again maybe every month, or maybe when we see they're like, this one is going ahead a little bit more, this one's going to need a little bit more help, so we do revise it. Then we have the connectivism, and this one is when you relate to real world things. Like, for example, I love to give to my students examples, and in the beginning of the year, I remember that I told them, when you learn, it's just like when you learn soccer. Who plays soccer? And they're like, me. Do you think you were able to hit a goal your first day that you went to practice? Of course not. Well, maybe you were lucky and you could have, but you're not going to be learning to perfection the first time reading to perfection the first time you read. You got to practice it and practice it and practice it. And when you learn today, you're going to need it for tomorrow. And when you learn tomorrow, you're going to need it for next week, and so on and so forth. And then the last one was humanism, which is it's a soft spot that I have for that one. And it's basically how to get to know your students, what's going on with your students, how to treat them. You never know what's going on at home, what they're going through. So that human part of you, that's when you utilize it. Especially like when they're coming in the morning, that something happened on the bus. They fell getting onto the bus. They didn't get time to say goodbye to mom or something like that. So in this way, I believe that it's not only one learning theory, one learning strategy that you're going to use through your day, through your lesson. You're going to activate them all. You're going to use a little bit of all in a day. One day you maybe have to use more than another. Maybe humanism in one day, any given day. But I do believe that the constructivism, the collaborative, that one you use every single day. Every single day. Thank you.